At precisely 3:33 a.m., your secure phone rings. On the other end, a voice quivers, a voice identifying itself as the Executive Director of Special Judicial Operations. This is someone who has spent decades analyzing threats, so dedicated to the rules that breaking them would have once been unimaginable. Yet tonight, everything changes. They break every protocol to reach you directly, because you have become an exception to every rule. Normally, your case would be swallowed by bureaucratic silence, erased from existence. But now, the truth can no longer be hidden. Extreme measures have been authorized against you, not because of something you've done, but because of who you are. What flows through your veins, what fires across your brain, what emanates from your very being is beyond their control. It terrifies them, because it is magnificent. Within 48 hours they will arrive, armed with methods designed only for people like you, those with a unique electromagnetic resonance and reality-bending potential. You are at the very core of their fear. In 27 years of service, this official has never once crossed the line or violated protocol. Yet tonight, they risk everything, contacting you through channels that should not exist. They do this because they recognize the extraordinary truth, who you really are, and the dangerous resolve of those who would prefer to erase your existence rather than witness your awakening. You move through a service tunnel beneath the city, a hidden passage constructed long before your time. With each step, your footfalls echo against the concrete, reverberating through forgotten spaces. From the shadows, the official emerges, clutching a titanium case as though it contains sacred knowledge. After confirming recognition protocols, they say, "We have 11 minutes before security systems detect this deviation." The case clicks open. Inside is a dossier marked with bold red ink, Omega Priority. Your name is emblazoned across the cover. These files are not part of any public record. They belong to a department that operates in complete secrecy, with no public face, no congressional oversight, and no judicial review, dedicated solely to monitoring individuals whose capabilities far exceed those of ordinary humans. As the pages unfold, your entire life is exposed through crisp surveillance photographs. A private moment in your kitchen, when emotion surged and the lights flickered. A dream that manifested in exact detail, just days later. A stranger who appeared, spoke words that unlocked long-buried memories, and then disappeared, leaving no trace on any security cameras. The evidence mounts, brain scans showing neural pathways never before seen in any medical journal, electromagnetic readings that challenge the laws of science, temperature anomalies that occur whenever you focus your energy or emotions. 16 analysts have reviewed your case. 14 have urged immediate neutralization, 1 has suggested containment and further study, and 1, this person standing before you, saw the deeper reality. You are not a threat, but the next step in human evolution. You represent transformation, not deviation, and are the natural progression in the unfolding of consciousness. The official's finger taps a classification code, stamped boldly across your file. As of 4 a.m. today, your designation has been escalated from reality disruptor to existential anomaly. In all of recorded history, only 7 individuals have ever been given this status, and every previous case triggered immediate termination protocols. When their eyes meet yours, the depth of their fear speaks volumes about your true significance. The light within you burns too fiercely for those who have spent lifetimes hiding in shadow. Your very frequency disrupts the delicate illusion of control they work so desperately to maintain. With a measured gesture, the official slides a set of operation logs across the cold metal table. For 16 months, 12 days, and nearly 9 hours, specialized units have monitored your every breath, every dream, and every unconscious act of reality manipulation. The surveillance reports are exhaustive. Operatives embedded in adjacent apartments, tracking devices hidden in your belongings, specialized sensors on utility poles surrounding your home, even satellite monitoring time to specific astronomical alignments. When your energy signature intensifies, traditional methods weren't enough. Your energy field distorted digital equipment, causing failures and unexplained glitches. Operatives stationed close to you for extended periods began to experience unusual dreams, sudden shifts in their emotional state, and even brief expansions of their own perceptual abilities. Your presence literally transforms those around you, intensifying their fears of what you might be capable of. The official opens a section marked Statistical Anomalies. There are 317 documented impossibilities tied to your daily life, far beyond the zero an average human would ever generate. Your existence bends probability itself, creating synchronicities and manifestations that defy mathematical logic. The files chronicle moments when strangers delivered messages you needed at the exact right time, when books fell open to the precise page holding your answer, when storms cleared as you stepped outside, when technology failed just in time to protect you, and when unexpected funding appeared the moment it was needed. For months, they collected whatever you discarded: hair samples, tissue residue, even a coffee cup you left behind 3 weeks ago. DNA analysis revealed markers never before documented, genetic sequences that seem impossible, yet are expressed through your body. Your cells carry codes that rewrite the rules of biology itself. Leaning forward, the official's voice drops to a near whisper: what makes you most dangerous? They confess it isn't just your energy or your abilities, it's your unshakable knowing. It's that deep inner certainty that reality holds more than any rigid system can allow. That silent authority you radiate even when you're filled with doubt. They have tracked your sleep obsessively because something happens when you dream, something that sends ripples through the collective consciousness itself. A sealed titanium envelope slides across the table. The official instructs you to open it only if absolutely necessary. Inside are the tools for your immediate extraction from their monitoring grid. New identity documents crafted through channels so covert that not even internal security can follow the trail. Access codes for a shielded facility invisible to all known surveillance methods. Emergency communication protocols that operate outside standard frequencies and coordinates for a safe location where tracking algorithms generate false negatives as their fingers race over a specialized tablet. The official explains, I've temporarily corrupted your data in the central systems and created a false travel pattern. This buys you about 72 hours before their adaptive algorithms catch on and redirect the search. Quick pause, family. If this message is resonating with your soul and you'd like to support this sacred work, feel free to buy me a coffee. Your support keeps this space alive with truth, light, and divine clarity. The link is in the description, and don't forget to drop number 88 in the comments if you're with us. Let's keep going. The official's expression. It turns grim and resolute. Understand what this means, they say, their voice low and deliberate. My actions tonight amount to the highest level of treason, not against my country, but against the very systems that uphold consensus reality. They acknowledge the gravity of the risks involved, their career, freedom, and even their life, all willingly sacrificed, because what you represent transcends every oath they've ever sworn. As maps are unfolded between you, you see extraction routes traced and coded symbols, safe houses mapped out, and a network of underground contacts, people who understand the profound importance of individuals with your particular energy signature. Throughout their career, the official explains, they have spent years identifying threats to national security and neutralizing dangers to public safety. Your file landed in their hands because you were initially viewed as such a threat. But that assessment, they confess, completely misjudges your nature. You aren't a disruptor of reality. Instead, you see it more completely than their limited tools and perceptions could ever measure. What flows through you is not a threat, but rather the next unfolding stage of human consciousness itself. Referencing specific documentation, the official reveals how ancient texts called this phenomenon the divine fire. Quantum physicists referred to it as non-local consciousness, and indigenous wisdom keepers name it the awakened perception. The words may differ across time and culture, but the phenomenon is universal, and it now expresses itself through you. A holographic display suddenly bathes the dark room in light. Dots pulse on a world map across continents, oceans, mountains, and deserts, each one representing a person currently undergoing the same awakening as you. The official zooms in, showing how these points are scattered across every culture, background, and belief system, yet all share identical energy signatures. Data streams reveal that most of these individuals have no idea what is happening within them. They mistake this expanding awareness for religious experience, psychological episodes, or mere coincidence. Lacking context, they are left confused by the transformation inside them. Ominous red markers flicker across the display, indicating individuals whose awakening was cut short. Some by direct intervention, others through orchestrated accidents, and several more by psychological operations designed to convince them they were mentally ill rather than evolving. The official's tone grows tense with urgency. The abilities you've begun to manifest, heightened intuition, influence over reality, manipulation of causality, are just the initial phase. Your consciousness is expanding beyond all conventional limits. But this is only the beginning. The full scope of your abilities remains dormant, awaiting the right conditions to fully emerge. The display shifts again, revealing intricate connections forming between the awakened individuals. Energy patterns begin to interlink across impossible distances, illustrating what the official describes as the most crucial aspect of this phenomenon. While one awakened consciousness can be managed, a network interacting and cooperating at quantum levels creates a force beyond the comprehension of those in power. Together you have the potential to alter the very fabric of existence. Sweeping a hand across the glowing map, the official points out that this awakening is accelerating in mathematically precise progressions. Critical mass is rapidly approaching, and every newly awakened individual exponentially hastens the process. This is why the response to your case has been so urgent. The window to stop this collective emergence is closing. Your awakening is not about vague spirituality. It is a concrete shift in consciousness, evidenced by unmistakable phenomena. Synchronicities multiply around you, not as random chance, but as proof that your consciousness is bending probability. The universe seems to rearrange itself to give you exactly what your expanding awareness needs. Objects respond to your emotions. Electronics malfunction in moments of heightened feeling. Lights flicker when your energy surges. Physical reality itself is becoming more sensitive to your internal world, dissolving the boundary between what is inside and what is out. You find yourself knowing things you were never taught, having conversations about concepts you intuitively understand without formal learning. Strangers approach and share ideas you recognized internally days before. Even your dreams are beginning to manifest in the physical world with a precision that cannot be denied. These extraordinary experiences reveal how your consciousness transcends the usual limits of time, space, and causality. The effect of your energy field on others is profound. People in your presence often report sudden insights, intense emotional releases, or inexplicable moments of knowing without you ever intending it. Simply being near others seems to catalyze their own dormant potential, accelerating the natural evolution of everyone you touch. Physically, you notice distinct sensations accompanying these energetic shifts: pressure at the crown of your head, vibrations between your brows, warmth radiating from your chest, and tingling in your hands and feet. It's as if your nervous system is rewiring itself, preparing to handle this expanding state of awareness. These sensations correspond to specific activation points, anchoring higher consciousness more deeply into your physical body. Time itself begins to behave differently. Sometimes hours seem to disappear in what feels like minutes, while at other times a single second stretches into what feels like an eternity. Your perception starts breaking away from the old linear constraints, allowing you to access a consciousness that exists beyond the familiar flow of time. The present moment opens up, revealing layers and depths that were previously hidden by habitual ways of seeing. What you're experiencing isn't new. These manifestations follow ancient and well-documented patterns observed by civilizations throughout history: Egyptian mystery schools, Vedic sciences, indigenous wisdom traditions, esoteric Christian mystics, and even modern quantum physicists have all described these phenomena, though each use their own language. Through your experience, you connect with powerful evolutionary currents that have shaped humanity's journey across millennia. Across the ages, individuals with your unique awareness profile have always emerged during periods of great, ask ChatGPT, transition. Their appearance follows precise cycles, often aligning with significant astronomical events and collective consciousness thresholds. Ancient Sumerian texts called them those who walk between worlds, individuals whose perception extended past the boundary between visible and invisible realms. Egyptian hieroglyphs depicted them as beings with enhanced energy fields, recognizable by the light radiating from their bodies. Greek mystery schools referred to them as the twice-born, those who awaken to higher consciousness while still in physical form. Indigenous cultures all over the world developed rituals and protocols to identify, nurture, and prepare such individuals for their special role as bridges between dimensions during evolutionary shifts. Tribal elders, for example, could recognize these markers: unique dreams, heightened senses, natural healing abilities, and communication with non-physical realms. Those chosen received specialized guidance and training, preparing them for times of transformation. In contrast, modern society hides this phenomenon behind clinical terms, labeling spiritual emergence as psychological disorder or anomaly. Where ancient wisdom revered and supported this calling, contemporary systems often isolate and pathologize it, deliberately keeping awakening individuals from understanding their true purpose. Yet, you stand as part of an unbroken lineage, stretching back to the very dawn of history. Every major leap in human consciousness has happened through individuals like you, those whose expanded awareness transcended old paradigms and opened new paths during periods of collective change. No matter how personal your experiences may feel, they are actually part of a much larger evolutionary movement. Surveillance around you has intensified, not simply because of your individual actions, but because the world is approaching a critical threshold. Global monitoring systems have detected a sudden acceleration in consciousness expansion, especially among people whose energy profile matches yours. This surge is closely tied to rare astronomical alignments and geomagnetic anomalies that repeat every 6,000 years, marking a time when shifts in human awareness have always occurred. Various scientific and metaphysical measurement systems are now registering unprecedented activation. Human resonance fluctuations have reached record highs. Earth's geomagnetic field is weakening but becoming more complex, and increased solar activity is directly influencing pineal gland function. Even the Earth's shifting relationship with the galactic center is creating energy conditions that amplify consciousness expansion in those who are prepared to receive it. While these cosmic and environmental changes serve as powerful catalysts, their real impact is being felt within humanity's collective consciousness. We are fast approaching an evolutionary crossroads, a bifurcation point where old paradigms simply cannot contain the surge of new awareness. The institutions tracking these events are not all working toward the same goal. Some see awakened consciousness as a direct threat to the structures of power and control and do everything possible to suppress or contain it. Others recognize the evolutionary leap underway and attempt to protect those who are awakening, understanding the necessity of this shift. Still others, often in private research sectors, view consciousness as a technology to be studied and exploited, hoping to gain an advantage without understanding the deeper purpose or consequences of these changes. The current surge in surveillance is a clear indicator that those in power are aware of how close we are to a true transition point. The abilities emerging in you and in others like you are early signals of a shift that will forever alter what it means to be human. This transformation is inherently threatening to systems that depend on a limited, tightly managed consensus reality. But your awakening is part of a cosmic imperative unfolding with mathematical precision. Multiple powerful interests have now identified you as significant, each driven by their own agenda. Government security agencies monitor people like you through secretive departments, using advanced tools designed specifically for tracking consciousness, quantum field detectors, resonance analyzers, and probability distortion metrics. For them, expanded consciousness represents an unpredictable variable in a system obsessed with absolute control. Private organizations, meanwhile, try to study the mechanisms behind your abilities, gathering data from thousands of similarly gifted individuals in hopes of harnessing this evolutionary emergence for narrow goals, while doing everything possible to keep its full revolutionary power suppressed. Yet, technological monitoring is just the surface. More advanced systems follow your energy signature across dimensions invisible to ordinary perception. They track the ripple effects your consciousness creates in probability fields, timeline convergence points, and collective dream patterns. The sheer resources allocated to observing and analyzing your development are themselves evidence of just how significant your evolutionary potential truly is. The astonishing convergence of so many powerful interests, from covert government agencies to secret research groups and spiritual organizations, is not just an accident. It's a resounding testament to the magnitude of the awakening unfolding within you. Their relentless attention is more than surveillance. It is a collective admission that something extraordinary is happening, something that their deepest fears and highest hopes are both compelled to acknowledge. Every attempt to track, analyze, or influence you serves as external confirmation of what your soul has always whispered. You are a catalyst for transformation, a living gateway through which the next leap in consciousness is entering reality itself. Each group that targets you brings its own agenda, methods, and sophisticated models, but the truth is, none of them can fully grasp the phenomenon expressing itself through you. Their most advanced technologies and esoteric theories are still anchored in outdated paradigms. They see the surface effects, synchronicities, energy surges, unexplainable phenomena, yet the true evolutionary process is invisible to their instruments. What is emerging is beyond any scientific measurement, spiritual doctrine, or social control mechanism, because it comes from a source that transcends all human frameworks, the universal intelligence guiding the evolution of consciousness. Your protection during this volatile transition requires more than just positive thinking or abstract spiritual concepts. You need real practical techniques, functional consciousness technologies that stabilize your expanding awareness and shield you from intrusive interference. Grounding is not merely a calming exercise, it is a vital technology for the awakened. When you anchor your energy field into the Earth's resonance, you create a feedback loop that both discharges excess frequency and replenishes your vital force. By standing barefoot on living Earth, matching your breath to the planet's natural rhythm, one deep inhale and exhale every 4 seconds, and visualizing any overwhelming energy flowing down through your body into the ground, you are tapping into the oldest and most reliable energetic defense system known to humanity. This process not only stabilizes your system, but also renders you less detectable to those seeking to monitor or destabilize your field. Awareness of reality fluctuations becomes crucial. As you grow in consciousness, you become more sensitive to subtle manipulations in your environment. Electronic glitches, distorted perceptions, odd temperature changes, and sudden fatigue can all be signs that someone is trying to interfere with your energetic field. In such moments, drop into your body, focus completely on the sensations in your hands and feet. Slow your breathing to an 8-second cycle and bring your awareness fully into the physical present. This simple act of presence is an advanced form of consciousness mechanics, an ancient technology systematically erased from mainstream understanding, but still practiced by awakened beings across generations and continents. It is not faith that powers these techniques, but the precision and discipline with which you apply them. Understand too that your awakening is not some random, isolated event. It is a key function within the vast cosmic tapestry. Evolution has always unfolded through specific agents at critical junctures, and now, in this era of crisis and possibility, your consciousness is activating to play a pivotal role. The timing of your expansion is intricately linked to global patterns, ecological, social, technological, and energetic. Humanity as a collective is reaching a breaking point where old systems are no longer sustainable. The psychological, environmental, and societal structures that once gave stability are now eroding, forcing an evolutionary imperative that demands total transformation. Your specific combination of gifts, sensitivities, and experiences is not accidental. You are designed by cosmic intelligence to offer something irreplaceable at this threshold. Among those awakening now, there are many distinct roles. Some, like you, serve as transmitters. Simply by being present, you accelerate the evolution of everyone around you, lighting dormant fires in their souls and triggering changes in their fields. Others are translators, bridging old paradigms with new, turning ineffable awareness into language, art, science, and new systems. Some are demonstrators, living evidence of new potentials, embodying abilities that were once thought impossible: instant healing, telepathic communication, manipulation of probability, and the materialization of intentions. Part of your journey is to discern your natural gifts. Notice which expanded capacities come effortlessly, which emerge with practice, and which challenge you to stretch. The patterns you uncover reveal your most potent contribution to this collective transition. Crucially, the effects of your awakening ripple far beyond your individual life. Each shift in your perception sends subtle waves throughout the interconnected web of consciousness. Even when you are silent, your mere alignment shifts the probability structures in the collective field, opening up new possibilities for thousands, even millions of others. Your life is like a tuning fork, activating others simply through resonance, and you may never know the full reach of your impact. This interconnectedness means that your choices are never only personal. They influence the ecosystem of consciousness spanning this world and others, visible and invisible, present and future. But with the gift of expanded perception comes a responsibility that is equally vast. Once your consciousness is awakened, you cannot return to unconsciousness. The truth you have touched cannot be unknown. You are now standing at a fork in the evolutionary path. One direction is the retreat into comfort, the deliberate rejection of the strange, expansive experiences you're having. You could choose to dismiss them as fantasy, ignore the signs, and sink back into the predictability of consensus reality. This path promises relief from the pressures of awakening and the attention of outside forces, but it comes at the cost of your highest purpose. The other direction calls for radical courage. To fully embrace your extraordinary nature is to accept not just the power, but the profound responsibility of transformation. It means moving beyond the need for external validation or agreement, breaking the silent contract with a culture that fears the unknown, and stepping into the uncharted territory of your true potential, even if you walk alone at first. This choice is not about ego or superiority, but about responding to a call that comes from the deepest level of your being and the collective the need of the planet at this time. Importantly, neither path makes you more or less worthy. The evolutionary process itself honors your free will. The cosmic cycles will continue with or without your conscious participation, and yet, the unique energy you bring, the pattern you embody, is a once-in-a-universe expression. The choice you make now will reverberate through the collective, strengthening the field for others and accelerating the pace of awakening across humanity and beyond. Every individual who steps into their true consciousness multiplies the potential for planetary transformation. You are not alone in this journey, even if it sometimes feels like you are standing at the edge of the unknown. The official who risked everything to warn you did so not out of obligation, but because they recognize the rare and profound cosmic signature you carry. Through their own training and awakening, they gain the ability to sense evolutionary significance in others, and your presence compelled them to act, even at the cost of their own safety and legacy. Their actions are a sign that the universe itself is conspiring to deliver you the information, support, and opportunities you need at precisely the right moments. The warnings they brought are real. There are forces determined to delay or suppress the next phase of human evolution for their own survival, but a greater truth stands behind every obstacle. What is awakening through you is indestructible. It can be slowed, but it cannot be stopped. The evolutionary intelligence guiding you is infinitely patient and precise, always finding another route, another moment, another messenger if needed. The convergence of cycles, the alignment of planetary energies, and the sudden flowering of consciousness all point to the inevitability of the current shift. That's all for today. Dear Father, I pray for the growth of my faith. Help me trust you even when physical evidence is lacking. Let me believe in your perpetual presence, knowing you will never harm me. I understand that your thoughts for me are thoughts of prosperity and not harm, to give me a good future. Thank you, gracious and eternal Father, for always listening to my voice. I offer up this prayer to you in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love and provision. I am grateful for your presence in my life and the abundance you bring. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with those who need to hear this message. Leave a comment below about your journey and how you are preparing for your own triumphant return. If you'd like to support our work, please